but I think we shall begin. As of now, I think everybody should be able to see our screen where you can see the presentation. So welcome everybody. This is our webinar on the maturity level when it comes to people analytics. All right. Um, this is our first one in English. We've done a whole bunch of them previously in the past couple of years. When it comes to people analytics, we've covered a whole bunch of subjects, but today uh, we'll obviously focus on our maturity model. So the agenda for today, basically, I'm going to present myself and my other two colleagues. So basically, the speaker presentation. Then after that, I'll talk about the upcoming activities that we have going on, whether it's in French or in English, within the next few months. After that, we'll talk about People Analytics Continuum, so basically what it's all about. Then we'll show you the maturity model, the positioning that we have when it comes to the Canadian companies, an organization that has gone through our surveys and our know-how, basically. Then after that, we'll present the 6 pillars that are most important when it comes to people analytics, when it comes to, our expertise. And then we'll answer all of your questions. Obviously, I would suggest you to basically, you can type them up whenever you want during the entire presentation in a chat. And then we'll just take the time at the end to basically answer them all, just not to get sidetracked, because we do have a lot of content that we prepared for you guys, and we want to make sure that we can go through it all and that you get all the information that you basically came here for. Uh, Amy, if you want to switch to the next one, please. Obviously, I wouldn't like to. I would present my colleagues first, but they decided that I should present myself as a first one. So obviously, I am Jean-André. I've been working here at Cara for the past year and a half now. I'm basically in charge of anything that has to do with the surveys and the customer success that we have through with our platform, Cara. So when it comes to any type of project, I am here through and through, helping out, giving out explanation and things of that nature to make sure that everything goes smoothly. And I will present my next colleague, who is Amy. She's the one controlling our screen. Very lovely person, very good when it comes to anything people analytics. And she is in charge of anything that is benchmarking for us. So she is there usually at the beginning of any type of project to make sure that, we're all aligned and we know where we're going and where we're starting. And she's able to basically tell you anything that you want to know when it comes to benchmarking. We'll follow up with uh, the one and only André Laforge. Basically, she is our VP when it comes to and she is our product manager. She is very enthusiastic when it comes to people analytics. Uh, Basically, she is our reference when it comes to people analytics. She has been named top 50 in the world when it comes to analytics influencers. And yeah, I mean, if you have a question, she will be able to answer, basically. If you want to pass on the next one, Amy. Obviously, I've said Cara, and you've seen on the screen, you saw Centel as well. So basically, Cara, we're a team here based out of Quebec, but we have clients all over Canada. And we are an HR solution, basically. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of companies on the right-hand side that we've done projects with, and we're currently doing projects with. Um, whether it's come from like it says on the right here, training and development, KPI selection and dashboard, auditing, data services, benchmarking, and also at the use of our platform. So all of the companies that you see here on the right hand side, or some of the clients that we have currently or that we've helped out along the way when it comes to basically through and through with their people analytics project. Centel is basically a Canadian company specialized in business intelligence. So obviously they have more than 300 products under their belt, and they've been in the business for over 35 years now. And obviously all their projects have been with a multitude of different industries and companies that cover any sort of different fields out here in Canada. Basically, when it comes to Cara, obviously, we are more based on people analytics, but we also have, like I said a little bit earlier, when it comes to my task here at the company, we also have a survey solution that helps you basically have uh, to cross-reference not only your active data, but your passive data. So what that means is basically whatever you have in your HR systems, you could basically go ahead and basically ask your employees, your workforce, what is going on, and then you can um, basically make better decision when it comes to what should be your game plan going forward. Uh, Amy, if you want to switch to the next one.
Yeah, sure.
And like I said before, obviously our next activities. When it comes to this webinar, you don't need to take notes really because we'll send you everything. Uh, After the 1 hour that we have here, it might be a little bit shorter depending on how it goes with the amount of questions. But after this, you'll get obviously a survey satisfaction that you can answer, and it helps us basically do better content for you guys next time around. And the following week, you'll basically get not only the recording, but also the presentation itself. So that's why you don't need to take notes actively. And then the next webinar that we'll do is basically next year. So we'll be happy to see all of you guys again on February 2nd. And we'll talk about the metric that you should look at when it comes to 2024 in order to have good business practices. All right. So
Well, thank you, Jean-André.
no
So I'm
problem.
so I'm here to talk to you about the different maturity level and the survey carried out by Cara. But first, before talking about the maturity in people analytics, it is important to get the basics right about what people analytics is. At Cara, we define people analytics as the process of making optimal, realistic decision based on data. Unfortunately, you can do this in one day. You have to go through a long process, and here are the main steps. So first, intuition. So I believe I have a problem, so I'm building an initiative to address it. And then the second one, matrix. So I start measuring certain situations, such as the turnover, the recruitment, that kind of stuff. And then you will have the benchmarking. So now you will want to compare your results to make sure that you don't have any problems, or maybe know if you're good at something. And then you will have the dashboard. So now you will put important indicators for your organization on a dashboard. And as I always say, this dashboard needs to be alive. It means that it has to evolve over time, and we must update it at least every quarter or every month. And then you will have survey. So we ask our employees for their opinion. So you will get information for engagement survey, stay interview, exit interview, and so on. And then there is what we call here at Cara the wall of people analytics. To get past the wall, you cannot do this in an Excel or on a napkin. Okay, you really need to be structured with a team, a technology, a budget. Yeah, you will need time and money for your people analytics. So then you will be able to establish correlations between different indicators, to establish causality between them. You will be able to make prediction and go as far as the prescription, so establish courses of action. And here we are into the why. Now, the maturity level. There are 4 levels of maturity in people analytics. So the first one is the reactive level. As the name says, we are very reactive when it comes to using data. We know certain information such as the number of employee, but the calculation of indicators is done on a as needed basis, or when the CEO asks for it. So decisions here are based on intuition and experience. Data quality is not a priority since we have no one in charge of data and analytics. Then the second level is awareness. Here we become more aware of the value of the data in our system. That's why we are working on the quality of our data. So is it complete? Is it good? Do we have it all? Uh, At this level, a person is appointed for people analytics, and this person will be responsible for data and for the reporting. Here, in the people analytic continuum that you just saw, we still remain in what we call the what, before the wall. And then we have the convergence. Here we cross the famous people analytics wall. Investments in people analytics are higher. The people in analytics teams grow. You have more people in your people analytics team. And we also integrate new profiles such as IT. We integrate data from different systems for our analysis. And you know that in HR, you have a lot of systems. So here, now more decision taken by the organization will be based on HR data and on the analysis produced by the people analytics teams. And finally, you have the mastery level. So here, the entire HR department, not just the entire people analytics team, but the entire department is proficient in people analytics. All employee-related decisions are based on your data. So now here, there's no room for decision based on intuition, okay? At this level, we integrate predictive models such as the turnover forecast or the flight risk. And now, for the survey conducted by our team, shown us that the average organization is currently at the awareness level. So, but that we are still a long way from the convergence. So in other words, most organizations have metrics, have one or maybe more HR dashboards, and focus on the quality of their data. However, they are still a long way from using a people analytics solution. And here's a breakdown of the results obtained. So currently, more than 26% of organizations are still at the reactive level. This means that over a quarter of the organization make little or no use at all of their data. Then we have more than 55% of organizations that are on the awareness level. So majority of organizations have metrics, have dashboards, which is a good start. And now I'm happy to tell you that more than 17% of organizations have broken the wall of people analytics. So 16.3% of organizations are at the convergence level. They have automated dashboards and they integrate data from different sources for their analysis. And a little bit less than 1.5% of organizations have reached the mastery level and are using predictive models to make better decisions. When we received the results of our survey, we wonder whether the size of the organization might have an influence on the level of maturity. As you know, a small organization with less than 50 employees will have one person looking after all the HR issues. So people analytics is therefore unlikely to be a priority. And on the other hand, a company with more than 1,000 employees will have a larger HR team and will find it maybe easier to appoint a people analytics manager. And as you can see from the table, the majority of organizations are at the lower end of the awareness level. So company with over 1,000 employees, on the other hand, are close to the convergence level. So we can say that larger organizations are more mature than the smallest. And we also ask ourselves whether the sector of activity might have some influence on the level of maturity. I won't list the results of all the sector, but as you can see from the table, almost all sectors are at the lower end or the medium level of awareness. Only one sector stood out, and that was finance and insurance. I must confess, I was not surprised to see that result because financial companies were among the first to take an interest in people analytics, and that was maybe 10 years ago at least. And now, how to make progress in people analytics. So this is what you came for. So if you want to progress in people analytics, you will need to work on the 6 main pillars. The first one, the data management and governance. In our opinion at Cara, this is the first pillar you will need to work on, as it's impossible to get started in people analytics without your data. Then people analytics team. So we're about to tell you what kind of profile you will need to be into your people analytics team. Then the organizational alignment. People analytics is not useful to human resources only, but for the whole organization. If you want people analytics to be useful, you will need to align yourself with the needs of your organizations. And then the core infrastructure, so the technologies. Most organizations will start their project with Excel. It is good, but if you want to progress in people analytics and use it to its full value, you will need to use tools. And there are already a few tools on the market to help you with it. Then you have the user engagement. This is linked to the organizational alignment. If you want to use people analytics throughout your organization, you will also need to have users throughout your organization too. And then you have data cultures. This is the most difficult pillar you will have to work on, since data culture has to come from the top of your organization. If the top management doesn't buy in, it will be very difficult for you to implement a data culture. So here we are. I will stop sharing my screen. André, if you want to share yours.
Thank you, Amy. Tell me when you see my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can see it now.
Thank you very much. So what we'll do now, we'll look at all the pillars that Amy described in more details. So let's start with the first dimension, the data management and governance. And this is where you usually start, because data is the foundation of analytics. This is where you will spend a lot of your time at the beginning, okay? But when it's done, it's done. You only need to maintain it after that. So if we look at quality, high quality data is absolutely necessary for the success of your project. You need to identify the issues with your data. You remember the phrase garbage in, garbage out, so it's true with people analytics. Then the transformation of the data is a crucial phase in data management process. It involves shaping, cleaning, restructuring raw data into a format that is suitable for analysis. Integration involves combining and unifying data from different sources. A lot of organizations have more than one system for HR. For example, you have an HRMS, you have an ATS, you have an LMS. So you need a unified and comprehensive data sets. So integration part. Historization involves capturing and managing historical data, historical change in your data over time. It's important in HR where you have employee data and also organizational structure that will change over time. So you need to take those information, and it's really important that you need that information to evolve over time. Then you'll need also a dictionary, a data dictionary. This will serve as a centralized reference guide that will provide detailed information about your data, about the structure, the definition, and all the attributes of the data. Governance, privacy, and security are all important. For the governance, it involves the establishment of policies, processes, and standards to ensure the quality, security, and the responsible use of your HR data. Privacy and security goes hand in hand because of the sensitive nature of HR data. So you need to make sure that the data is seen by people who have the rights to see it. So you see, data management and governance encompass a lot of stuff, but it's very important to make sure that you go through this first pillar. For the second pillar, it's the people analytic teams. It is crucial from the beginning to appoint a person that will be responsible for people analytics. If you don't, you will go nowhere, okay? With good data and a person with people analytics in their title, you can go a long way, okay? So initially, the designated person does not necessarily have to work full time on people analytics, but they should have available hours to advance the project. So for a small organization, you will probably only have one person responsible. But for larger companies, the recommended ratio is around one person dedicated to people analytics for every 2,500 employees. Okay, so you can take this ratio in mind. So for larger organization, you can think of having the structure you see here on my slide. It's crucial at the beginning to differentiate between the team or person that will be responsible for reporting and producing KPIs and those involved on specific people analytics projects. If you don't separate those two teams, I can assure you that your team member will likely focus mainly on reporting because the demand is endless. Okay, so for more mature companies, you will then have uh, a survey and employee and listening teams. So those people will be responsible for everything coming out from a survey. And another part of the team could be responsible for strategic workforce planning. So when you see this type of structure is when you have a more mature organization. The third pillars, organization alignment. Here's what you can do. Okay, to ensure the success of your human capital investment, it's imperative that you align with the business objective. It's the same thing for people analytics. So for people analytics to truly take flight, it must actively contribute to solving a real problem in your organization. Those problems that directly impact your business objective. So how can you achieve this alignment? I will give you some tip on how to achieve that. So you need to gain a deep understanding of the top concern of your senior management. And be aware of the 5 critical issues that keep your president awake at night. If you're able to pinpoint that, you'll be able to identify the senior management concern. Also, you could focus on high value areas in your organization. You need to find the place in your organization where HR can add the most value. Usually it's related with cost or revenue. So this could involve focusing on points of sales, revenue generators, call center, health and safety, or key talent pools. Usually, you will start with one question that you want to answer. This will probably give you insights, and this will make your people analytics projects adding value. So for example, you could have a question like how can we improve retention in the call center? So if you are able to answer this question with data, it will help you gain more credibility into your organization, into your people analytics projects. The fourth dimension is related to technology or infrastructure. There are four main types of technology that can contribute to people analytics. The first, okay, although having minimal analytical capacity, is the use of Excel. Everybody starts with Excel, and if you are a small company, less than 50 employees, it might be enough, okay? Another more specific to the HR sector, but also with minimal analytical capacity, is found in the dashboard or analytics module integrated into your HR information or talent management system. However, if you want to gain in maturity, you will need to go a step further. Okay, you will have two options available. Develop your own solution using business intelligence tool or leverage pre-built HR analytic tools. And we see with several of our customers that sometimes a part is built in-house and it connects to pre-built analytics. Okay, so you can have a combination of both. However, okay, you will need to face a decision choosing between developing a custom solution or using a pre-built tool. And it depends on factors such as organizational priorities, resource availability. Do you have a BI team or an analytic teams inside your organization? Do you have money? And also a time frame, okay? And it depends also on the level of customization required to meet your specific people analytics objective. With a pre-built people analytics application, you will not meet all your needs, probably 80% of your needs, but maybe it's enough, okay, for your organization. The fifth pillar is user engagement. For your people analytics project to be successful, it's imperative that it goes outside the HR department. People analytics should not be for HR alone. Rather, it should serve the whole organization. However, we recommend to initially implement people analytics for a limited group of users, okay, to make sure that you master the beast at the beginning, okay? So subsequently, you will expand access to other segments such as HR business partner, various HR advisor, and also the HR leadership teams. Then you will broaden access to the entire leadership teams and manager from different lines of business. And finally, in organization with a very high level of maturity, people analytics could potentially be used by all employees. The sixth pillar is data culture, meaning data literacy. The primary barrier lies in culture rather than technology or data. It is very difficult for HR to get resources for a people analytics initiative if the organization doesn't have a data culture. Like Amy said earlier, there are certain sectors such as finance, insurance, and high tech that are inherently more data-driven. However, some other sectors are not. So if you need if you want to your data culture to be better, you need to foster a culture that values performance and prioritize factual insights. You need to encourage your teams to base decision on data rather than assumption. You need also to offer comprehensive training session to enhance the understanding of analytics. You need to establish a structure, course, curriculum to systematically develop data literacy across the organization and across HR also. And I've seen some of our customers, what they do, they encourage the development of business case for HR project approval. So for every HR project or initiative, they ask that people provide a business case using data, okay? So that help promote a data culture in your organization. Now, to make progress, you have to work on the six pillars. And I would say that the first two, okay, data management and governance and people analytic teams, that's the first two you need to put in place. And then, okay, you can work on all other pillars. These different pillars also help you establish your roadmap. Okay, so you see, you won't build a people analytics initiative in 1 month. Okay, so it takes time. So you will need to build a roadmap. So let's move on the various activities you can carry out to help you gain maturity. We won't go through these last slides in detail as there is a lot of information on the slides, but we will focus on the first two levels of maturity because that's where majority of the organization in Canada are. So to transition from level 1 reactive to level 2 awareness, specific activities are crucial. Okay, so key steps include and are not limited to what you see on the slide, but if you can plan those activities, you'll see that you will get more mature in your analytics. So you need to gain a deep understanding of the organization, business, and HR strategies to be able to align analytics initiative with your business goal. And it will also help you select the right KPIs. You will need also to identify all the HR data sources, including all HR systems, surveys, all Excel files that you are using in your organization in HR. When you have your data source, you will need to conduct a data inventory and also identify confidential data. Once that is done, you will need to evaluate data quality. Okay, so you need to focus on consistency, accuracy, and completeness of the data to ensure that you have reliable analytics outcomes. Then you should comprehend HR reporting requirements across the organization for diverse audience. So you should survey all the audience in your organization to see what are their needs in terms of reporting, HR reporting, or in terms of dashboards or KPIs that they would need to make better decisions. Once you have done that, you'll be able to choose matrix that align with the organizational strategy just to ensure relevance and impact. When you have chosen your matrix, it's important to define your matrix into a KPI dictionary. Okay, this will help clearly define the selected matrix using a standardized dictionary for consistency and clarity. You will need to, and to help you do that, you can refer to a ISO norms called the ISO. I'm not good with my number in English. It's 30414. So this ISO standard define 58 HR matrix. So you can use those definitions, so you'll be aligned with the best practices. Then at the beginning, you will use Excel, and you can also use existing payroll HR system tool, okay, that you have. Leverage those tools at the beginning, and when you'll gain in maturity, maybe you will need to have other technology, but at the beginning, you could leverage those tools. And also, you should collaborate with IT. You should communicate your needs, your analytic needs to your IT team, just to ensure compatibility and support. And they will probably be able to help you extracting data from your system. You need to appoint a person dedicated to HR analytics. Like I said earlier, this person doesn't need to work full-time in analytics at the beginning, but this person needs to have the responsibility of people analytics. And you will also need to provide training to that person. Okay, you usually at the beginning, it's an HR analyst that we appoint, and you should give them training in essential areas such as Excel, Power BI, statistics, and also HR matrix. While all those activities to contribute to building your people analytics awareness, the most critical steps involve, and I repeat, aligning with organizational strategy, assessing and ensuring data quality, and selecting matrix or KPIs aligned with your strategic goals. These these activities set the stage for effective and impactful people analytics. Now, to advance from awareness to the next level, various activities are essential. Okay, so probably at the reactive level, okay, you will have 4, 5, 6 matrix or KPIs that you follow. When you go into the awareness model level, you will need to expand your metric range. So you will now probably add more HR and talent management KPI, and also a combination or financial KPI to broaden your scope of KPI. This is where you also will start to do historical analysis of results. Okay, this will help identify trends and patterns over time in your data, in your KPI. You will also need to segment matrix for better decision making, so allowing for targeted insights. This is also in this stage that you will conduct internal benchmarking. So you will compare different departments, or you will also want to compare yourself to an external benchmark. You will also need to visualize your indicators and trend and provide the ability to drill down into specific details. You will also start to generate dashboard and reports tailored for different purpose and user, ensuring appropriate access rules for confidential information. You will provide dashboard to leadership, share dashboard with senior management and manager for strategic decision support. And this is in this level that you will grow the people analytic team in both size and skills to enhance analytical capabilities. So at the beginning, you probably will have an HR analyst, but you will probably want to have somebody that is coming from IT that is good with all the database. Okay, so that person will help you extract data and work with the data. Okay, so probably those two profiles at the beginning will be the profile that you'll need. And it is at this stage that you will choose your technology and that you will make the decision build versus buy. Okay. Make informed decision on whether to build or buy technology solution that align with your evolving analytics needs. And also at this stage, you stay informed about data privacy regulation in different countries to ensure compliance. If you are a Canadian company, that's okay. But if you have office in other country, it's important to know what are the regulation in those countries concerning data privacy. And in this level, you will educate all HR professionals on the importance of data confidentiality and security practice. So you will enhance or implement robust data security and privacy practice to safeguard sensitive information. So moving from this level to higher level can be challenging for HR due to the complexity of HR data generated by disparate by various systems that you have. Often, organization will struggle to organize and derive insights from this or information. So many will embark on a project of a data warehouse project. But you know that this can be slow and costly for your organization. So there is better alternative available at this stage. So the build and buy will come very quickly. The biggest mistake made by most organizations attempting to move to level 3 and 4 is forgetting that the mindset and skills within the HR organization are just as crucial as technological investment. And this change begins directly at the top. The CHRO must embrace a mindset where even if opinion is good, decisions are made when supported by data. Okay, so I will stop here for the activities carried out at the different levels, but you will have the presentation to help you move to higher levels. So you have all the activities for the third level here, convergence, and you have also the activities for the fourth level, mastery. Okay, so those activities can help you build your roadmap. So I think I'm going to pass to Jean-André now.
Yes. Back to me. So, like we've said before, basically, like I stated before at the beginning, obviously, hopefully you didn't take too many notes because there was a lot of content interesting to you when it comes to becoming and using our maturity model. So obviously by the end of the day, you should receive by email survey satisfaction. So basically to ask you how was the content, was it relevant, did you need to be a little less information, a little more information, these types of questions. It's not that long, it's about 10-15 questions, so it shouldn't take too long. And next week you should receive not only a link to basically the presentation that we just did, but also the PowerPoint presentation that we've displayed throughout this presentation. Like I've said before, one of my colleagues, Gauthier, basically put out a link in the chat for you to register for our next webinar, which will be hosted on February 2nd, 2024. So you can come back and ask as many questions as you want. But for now, this is the next few activities that we have prepared for you, and that shall happen within the next few days. I think we have another slide.
Oh, sorry, it's me.
after
Okay.
after this one, I think.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So yeah, we've been talking about usually what we've experienced while helping out other companies when it comes to their maturity level, where they're at, and trying to get from one level to another. If you want to participate to that study, basically, and to basically see where you are and help you get further along when it comes to maturity level, when it comes to people analytics, you could also join that study and that activity as well. We have directly, well, he's already put it up. He beat me to the punch, but my colleague Gauthier did it again. You have the second link now that you can basically click on, and you'll be able to answer basically the survey. And then after that, we'll come back to you and give you a report in order for you to get that information, and we'll be able to help you out and move along when it comes to moving along that maturity model. So that being said, now is the time because we're at the end. Basically, we have like a little more than 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, you can ask them now. Either, I don't know, if maybe you're a little sick because the temperature has changed, you can type it up in the chat. Or if not, pretty sure we've activated the mics now, so you can basically come and say hi to us and ask the question right away. And do not be shy. Usually it takes a little bit of time to gather all your thoughts after all the information that you receive. But yeah, any question's a good question. If not, usually, if you're not sure what's a good question, usually when we go through projects when it comes to our customers and clients, they'll ask something along the lines of, well, we did ask you if you wanted to participate or partake when it comes to the study, when it comes to the maturity level. And they usually ask how many companies or organization has participated to that activity, and to that we usually answer more than 200. So it is a pretty good sample size. So like we have obviously, like I said, 200, which covers a whole bunch of different sectors and activities. So it basically helps you out to see also benchmark you, so we'll be able to tell you where you are basically when it comes to your sector of activity.
And I don't know if you said it, Jean-André, but if the person participate in the survey, they will receive their results where they are positioned in the maturity level. They will receive a small report telling them where they are on the level of maturity, and also some guidelines to what to do to gain more maturity. Okay, so you will receive something back if you answer our survey.
No, I didn't have the chance to actually say it, but it's good that you
Okay.
said it because the answer is now fully complete.
Thank you. Good. Good.
Um, what else do they usually ask sometimes? They would also ask when it comes to how can I build my team? Like, what kind of person should I look for? So if I'm asking you, André, what kind of profile should I look for when it comes to a candidate or someone that we have in our company or outside to start building my team?
Yeah. Well, at the beginning, you won't probably go outside your team, so you will look at what you have. And I said, look at the HR guys or gals that like Excel, that's always talking about numbers. So this type of person could be the person you start with. So you don't need to go outside the organization. We always have a nerds in HR, this type of person. You should use this person to start your people analytics endeavors. However, and I would look into to start with an HR person, because what's very important in people analytics is that we understand the human, we understand the employee data. So it has to come in HR at the beginning. Okay, so that's what I would recommend.
Okay, well, that's good. So that way now we know there's no specific profile per se, but we always need somebody in HR to be able to basically read and make a story out of the data that we're actually looking at. Because obviously we could look at the data, we can analyze it, but in order to make the data make sense, we obviously need somebody who's embedded in that data in order for it to make sense to us.
Yes, yes.
Um, yeah, we did talk about 4 different levels, the 6 pillars, and obviously we're looking at it, but we didn't give any sort of timeline. I would imagine like most of the people, it depends on your organization, but a question that would be asked and is sometimes asked is how much time should we expect our project to be in place and basically help us move forward when it comes to our organization? Like how much time should I say I start from data governance until it becomes an actual culture in our organization?
Uh,
More or less.
yeah,
Obviously,
more or
it
less.
depends,
Well, there's
but
not a real time frame, but you have to understand that people analytics is a process. Okay, so when you start implementing that process into your organization, it takes at least 2 to 3 years, okay, to get to the and to get to the last level, the mastery. Maybe some organization will never get there, and it's not it's not it's not great, it's not it's not important,
It's
it
not that
doesn't
bad.
matter. It's not that bad, okay? I think and it depends on the size of your company, okay? If you are 200 employees, 300 employees, it will be very difficult for you to build predictive models, because when you have predictive models, you need to have a lot of data, you need to have a lot of employee, a lot of transaction in your system. So maybe the fourth level is not the level you should aim at. But I think every company of every size should aim at the convergence level. Okay, so the level 3. So that's where you have you are able to make decision based on data, and you use the data in your HR system. So it depends on the size, but I think you should expect that you won't get at level 3 in a month. Okay, it will take years to get there.
good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it depends on the if you buy something, a pre-built solution, or if you decide to build it all by yourself.
That is true.
Because you won't get to the third level, the convergence, if you don't have any solution to help you with it.
Yes, you're right. If you start a data warehouse or a data lake, um, it's a lot of time. Okay, so that will probably takes 1 year, 2 year that all this infrastructure is ready. If you go with a people analytics pre-built solution, it's accelerate your development. Okay, so this is a decision you'll have to make. Sometimes, however, HR is not the master, so they won't be able to make that decision because they are an IT department, a BI department that trace the road of what will be our infrastructure. So, but what we see more and more is companies are building data lake or data warehouse, but they are also using pre-built analytic solution to connect to that data warehouse to accelerate the development and their gain in maturity.
Good. I mean, I think it covers pretty
Yes.
much all the subject that we have gone through and basically the 6 pillars in more details. So yes, it is very situational. It depends on your sector, it depends on your size of your organization, what kind of decision you take when it comes to either bidding it yourself or go looking for an outside source. Obviously, we'll accelerate that, but you will need obviously the funds for it. So there's a lot of things to consider when it comes to your people analytics project. So if you have any type of questions, maybe you were too shy, or maybe you got a little bit of a cold and your voice is a little bit iffy like mine today, you can always send me an email, and it'll be my pleasure to basically assist you, help you out, and answer to the best of our abilities any sort of people analytics questions that you do have. So, like we said before, you will receive not only the presentation next week, you will receive a uh, basically another email later today when it comes to the satisfaction of uh, our presentation, to look at, you know, what we could have done better, maybe things that you were a little more interested, that maybe you wanted to push some more, and things of that nature. And that being said, thank you for having us and passing this lunchtime with us for our first webinar in English.